Hello. Welcome back. If you've been here before, from my other video about VFS. Welcome to my channel. My name is Papayapoe. What that means?
I don't know, man.
So I made a video a couple years ago talking about how I got into Vancouver Film School, and I showed my portfolio at the time, and I rewatched it recently, and it was very, very fun to look back on, even though it wasn't that long ago. It was like literally right before COVID, I think I made that video, and maybe that was a long time ago. Existential crisis aside, I wanted to compare my portfolio from before I went to VFS versus after, because there is a huge difference, and it's fun to see. I'm just gonna go through my video and show like a comparison photo of something I've made that I feel like shows the progress. I don't know if that makes sense, but you'll see. Just watch. You'll see. Portfolio. This is what I submitted to VFS for animation concept art. Yeah, it looks really bad. It looks really bad to me looking at it now because it's just so like there's a lot. This is where I was at the time, so I'm not going to beat myself up, but it's really funny to look at. I submitted some character designs. These are some of my favorite. I did it based off of these two Nigerian foods that my family often eats. So I think I made a pretty good attempt in terms of like shape language and personality. I think it could have been a bit better. I want to compare this to this piece that I made at VFS for our character design portion of the program. I had to make two characters in the style of Paranorman, and I made these two. They're both villains in a way, but the girl is the main character. I made this pretty early on in my time at VFS, so even this I would change a couple things on, but like I mean, you can see the clear difference. My understanding of perspective and proportions is just a lot better. I think I was pretty successful like color-wise too. I think what I was trying in the Fufu and Agusi one was cool in terms of textures and stuff, but some of the shadows kind of don't make sense. Yeah, I don't know. You can see this is what I am able to do now, which is cool. Oh, I'll also show this, just again, like the characters in action, posing, doing stuff. Yeah. Next, this fun little character like walk around. It's super simple and it's a cute little hazelnut character, part of a story I'm in the process of creating. Okay, so Malachi the hazelnut. Again, for a story that I literally never made, I like kind of came up with a concept, which is fine. You don't have to have a full like narrative drawn out, but I kind of like came up with a loose concept for this character, and I think just so I could have something to say about it. But it's really just a hazelnut boy. Also, I called it a walk around. That's not what it's called. It's called a turnaround. Pretty good attempt, I should say, too, for like someone who didn't know anything about character design. Okay, so these two turnarounds, the first one I did for that previous project that I just showed you, and the second one I did for my final project. So, oh, Perry, that's the name for the villain girl. Okay, right. So Perry, I made a 3D model for her in Maya. That's something I kind of knew how to do. I knew how to do that a little bit in my undergrad. So I kind of knew how to use Maya, but like at VFS, we learned how to do it again. Granted, we don't really learn how to build characters. We use Maya for environment building. Maybe I had like a little bit of an advantage knowing that, and then just like sort of capitalizing on that knowledge. Either way, we learn how to build 3D models in Maya, and I use that to create this, and oh my stars, I'm literally never creating another like turnaround without making a 3D model. moving on. Okay. This fun little character that I designed in my animation club. Basically, what I had everyone do, and I participated myself, was we went outside and we just picked any object we wanted and made a character based off of it. So yeah,
Right.
Topple
Okay.
is her name. Imagine her to be British. Yeah, so we have Topple here. um, I think this is one of the greater examples of the fact that I didn't have a good grasp on like proportions and how the human body moves. Again, I'm not judging where I was at. I can't do that. There's literally no point because I was where I was at then and now I'm where I'm at now. And progress is inevitable, so I don't know, like the pose, even though it's a fictional character, just doesn't really make sense. um like it feels like she's about to fall. She feels like she's about to topple over. um
Move this man!
One thing I'm like most happy about is I learned how to draw people. Like not necessarily I can't draw faces. I still can't draw faces well, but people, bodies, bodies moving. I know how to do that now. That's so exciting. But I'll show you more character stuff. So this is a lineup of characters that I created for the same story that Penny was in. They're all of the same world, and yeah, I think there's still things I would have changed because at the end of the day, I was a student and working on crunch time, and there's only so much you can do. I would fix a couple things with some of these characters, specifically the girl on the far right, before the last guy. Yeah, I don't know. She just kind of looks like a box, which is fine, but like I think I could make that work better. But yeah, I guess that's all I gotta say about that. Let's keep going. I included it because I think it's one of the better things that I've made. It's charcoal based. Next, the other life drawing I included is a self-portrait of me. We had to take, this is again for the same figure drawing class, but we had to take pictures of ourselves doing some sort of action or motion. I remember I was so proud of these pieces in my undergrad. I just thought like, wow, I did it. I did art. I nailed it. I understand it. Nobody talked to me. I am an artist. It's just, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting how you can look back at something that you thought was perfect and just see that it's not? I want to make another video in a couple of years looking at all of this stuff I'm showing you now that I'm like, yeah, guys, I learned how to do art in school and I'm better. And I mean, I think now, honestly, I'm more critical of my work, but for the most part, I'm proud of what my portfolio looks like right now. But in a couple years, I'm probably going to look back and be like, oh, this wasn't very good at all. Okay, now I'm going to show you my figure drawing stuff as well as like a piece I had to do for my figure drawing class that I don't know. I don't know why I don't consider it figure drawing. I guess it just felt like I wasn't drawing a figure and I was just drawing my face. But you'll see. So this is some of the figure drawing stuff I've done. We learned how to do things really quickly, I guess. We learned how to draw figures really quickly. None of them were in motion though, which I think like is kind of a negative. I think it's valuable to like have to learn how to draw people in motion. They do that at CalArts, I know. And I think I'm gonna just take classes on my own where I have to figure that out because I think that's a valuable skill to have. Are we just gonna do it? Okay, I had a bit of a malfunction and my camera did die. Not die, overheated. I don't know. We're back. I don't know what I was saying last, but this last piece, this was my last project in my final figure drawing class, and we just had to draw ourselves in like a comic. I don't know. It was a weird assignment. I don't know. But this is me as Catwoman. This is the illustration that I did for the cover, and I included it because I think it's pretty interesting. Okay, this cover has a very special place in my heart. I have a better understanding of like proportions and like humans and how far our poses can actually go. And so like this is a good example of me not knowing that. But I want to compare it to this piece just because like that one was kind of like, you know, a character and an environment interacting with the space, and I wanted to show that again. And this is something I did on my free time, but while I was still at VFS. And it's this little inventor girl, and she made these stupid wings that definitely can't work. But I just wanted to show like a character in a space. And there are things I would fix about this. I did this on my own time, so like when I had to get back into work, like schoolwork stuff, I had to kind of abandon this. But just, I don't know, look at the pose and like the lengths she's going in and the environment, how I'm using color, my understanding of atmosphere and perspective. Drink every time I say perspective. Yeah. I don't really have much to say. And then I included another digital illustration, again, just to show that I know how to like use Photoshop. Okay, yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I didn't have a lot of digital work in my original portfolio, which is really funny. But I made this woman in the moon thing based off a sketch I drew, and I think it's a cool concept. I might redraw it, but like this is like a fun little sketch, so I wanted to show another little sketch to you guys. This is also something I did on my own free time, but like while I was still at VFS. It's based off a 3D model by this artist, and I forget their name, but I'll put it on the screen. And like I just think this is so beautiful. It's really similar to color-wise, like to the woman on the moon or in the moon one. It feels like a similar vibe. Yeah, that was my last one in the video, but I do want to show some environment stuff because that's actually kind of where I thrived at VFS, funnily enough. So I'm going to show you this. This is a house I designed. It's barely a house. It just looks so unfinished because I remember at the time I was trying to learn perspective on my own, and I was watching videos and using like their tips and tricks, but I didn't actually understand perspective still. So it's a weird angle, and there's like no detail or detail just in random parts. I think for the most part it was unfinished, and that's why. But that's what I could do that in terms of like building design, and like, yeah, it's really, really funny. I designed, I'll show you two things. This first one is was my very, very first like win at VFS. It was the first time where I felt I improved. My second one I want to show you is in color, and I thought I would show that. Also, this was an interior, so I'll show an exterior. But this tattoo shop is something I made also early on in my like VFS career. It was part of a group project. I did this completely by myself, but like the project was like we were all creating stuff within the same world, and I love this piece so much. It was just, again, another big win for me at the time, where it was like, wow, look at what I made. I used a 3D model for this one. I literally made it rain so I could make the floor shiny. I don't know if it's like accurate, but I don't really care because it looks nice. And that brings us to the end of my video. I'll put like a, maybe I'll sit in the middle, and I'll sit back, and I'll put a before portfolio and an after portfolio. I think comparison wise, I've improved a lot, yup. And I think it's also, at least for me, and I hope for you watching this, it's just really encouraging to like look at yourself a year ago and look at where you were at, what you were able to do, and then look at where you're at now, and just be like, oh, I am improving. Like I'm working on myself, and something is coming out of that, you know? Like there's growth happening. Just keep working. Not in like a keep working capitalism. No, not in that way. Just keep working hard and like keep doing what you enjoy doing and you will improve. It's just, it has to happen. It's inevitable. So I'm really proud of myself and I hope you got something from this. Thank you for watching. You can like this if you'd like to. You want to see my outfit? I was really proud of it. Sheer lovely Thomas spaghetti strap that is the same color as baggy pants. Thanks for watching.